Welcome to the Family League Fantasy Football 2025 preseason breakdowns, part 3. Today we are doing Show Me Some TDs. Team, quarterback Drake May, running back 1, Christian McCaffrey, running back 2, Devon Achane, wide receiver 1, Ladd McConkey, wide receiver 2, Jackson Smith Njigba, tight end, Tyler Warren, defensive special teams, Patriots, kicker, Tyler Bass, flex, DK Metcalf. Notable bench players, McMillan, Cortland Sutherland, Tyrone Tracy Jr., and that is about it. So we're going to go to keys to success. Keys to success is obviously health. Obviously we know we had the injury with CMC, so this team needs to stay healthy. And Will McConkey and JSN lead the wide receiver room. They had very solid years last year. Can these guys show they can lead a team together? Next is, will Warren be the next Bowers? Tyler Warren, we've heard some pretty good reports from the Indianapolis Colts, and a lot of good things. I've heard Rob Gronkowski on his podcast say he is the real deal. Now moving on to it stinks. And number 1, could have gotten better wide receiver value. Obviously, we all know the famous draft strategy. He wanted to pick Nico Collins in round 2, and Jungle Joe's came in and pulled the rug out of him, and it seemed like it shook him a little bit, and he went with Devon Achane for his second round pick. I think that is notable, and everyone needs to remember that when it comes to the end of the season, see if it bites him on the behind. And will JSN improve with the new QB? I actually think JSN will have a little bit of a slip up. I do think he's good. I just think Sam Darnold was just good because Minnesota has a really good offensive coach. The next is the flex. I'm just not a fan of DK Metcalf. I don't think he'll have a good year with Aaron Rodgers back there. But I will say with that, he has notable bench players he can replace him with, especially with Cortland Sutton, who I think will have a big year with Bo Nix. So that may not be, and it stinks, number 3. But we will have to see what the fantasy owner decides to put at the flex position. Key points. We're going to go first one. Another year of explosion of points. Will it work out? Obviously, we all know last year, this Show Me Some TDs was actually top 5 in points, but unfortunately didn't make the playoffs, had the worst record in the league because people score so much against him. And number 2 is, can McConkey and JSN prove they can lead a team to a championship? Obviously, the two main heads are Christian McCaffrey and Devon Achane, but we'll see if they can, release the pressure off them, with having some big games. They've obviously shown they can have tremendous numbers, as we saw last year. So like I said, he's going for an explosion of points this year, but we will see if it'll work out for him. And then number 3, I texted this fantasy owner the day after the draft, and I said, how are we feeling? And he said he's ready to shock the world, and I will have to agree with him. I think if he does do very well in this league this year, he will indeed, in fact, shock the world. Come back for part 4.